Hey everybody, welcome to my Suburban Oasis. My name's Soleil and I garden in a Zone 5B in mid-Michigan. And I've already been doing some gardening before this video started because guess what? We've been out here for like a half an hour and somebody forgot to press the record button. I'm not gonna name any names or put any faults in there, but that's what happened. So I'm gonna show you what we've done so far, talk a little bit about why we did it, and then we'll move into finishing up the video together. All right, let's go. So it's about 35 degrees out today and we don't have a lot of snow on the ground. You can see a little bit of a dusting here and there. And one of the things that I wanted to do was just come out and clean up some of the things that I didn't have the opportunity to do before it got really cold. And you can actually see some of the bare spots of where they were taken out because these were where the chives had grown and they were green before it started to snow. And now that the snow has melted, it actually showed us, you know, where all of those ugly yellow chives were, and they were all just kind of hanging over the edges of these rocks. So we've got those cleaned up now and it looks a whole lot better over here. I'm really sorry I don't have the before to be able to show you guys, but I promise you it looks a lot better. All right, let's look at the next thing that we took care of. So over here, if you recall, we have some beautiful smooth hydrangeas over here. These are the Bar Harbor Seaside Serenade. And when I came through and talked a little bit about dealing with some of the wacky weather we had, I showed you how some of them had actually been bent over and broken and talked about wanting to come out here and trim them up. So I did do that. You can see all the nice fresh little cuts along there. I did not trim for size or shape. I just cut them off where they have broken. But that's actually probably about halfway back towards the base. So it's a little further than I would have normally cut them. You normally take off about a third of the plant each season. But that's okay. It'll be just fine, actually. And I'm really happy to have that taken care of because it was a little bit messy looking. All right, let's go take a look at the next area that we've been working on. All right, so I'm going to show you this area because I'm super pleased with this. This one looks the best of any, and I'll show you all of the garden debris. So we have taken out all of this in terms of dead iris foliage, and then here's my little hydrangea bouquet that we had clipped off of that smooth hydrangea. But I just think this area looks so much better and it's going to look great for the rest of the winter because you can see that the Virginia has turned that really beautiful deep burgundy and it's just gorgeous in the winter time. And I love how it lines the paths. It makes such a great edger. And then also beneath all of that dead foliage was lots of nice new fresh foliage that's waiting for the much warmer weather as we get it this spring. Indeed, I even see some small little tops of daffodils that we planted in this area waiting for that weather to come. So even though it's cold out, there's definitely a lot of fun stuff to take a peek at in the garden this year as well. I was even bragging about how well my knee was handling all of this gardening. I was showing you guys some pretty cool gardening lunges, etc. with my knee that I had surgery on earlier this year. So I'm sorry you didn't get that footage, but maybe next time. All right, I also want to cut back some flax today, so let's get on that. So this flax, as you can see, is just kind of ugly. It's not going to provide any extra winter interest, so we're just going to cut it all the way back down to the ground. So we don't have to do that in the spring. This is going to save me a little bit of time. We have another one that's right over here that's exactly the same because this bed is planted kind of symmetrical. And then we have some flax that are over by the shed that I want to take care of as well. Okay, so now I can brag about my ability to squat, you guys. Check this out. See this? some of you are new subscribers, so you don't know about me having torn my ACL this last February and having to go through quite a bit of rehabilitation for it and not being able to really garden as well as I hoped this whole last season. But I just graduated from physical therapy at the end of December, and I'm really excited about that. So if you're new to this channel, welcome. Thank you so much for subscribing. I hope that you enjoy it. This one may not look completely dead, but it's not going to be helpful to the plant. It's not going to grow from the tips next year. All of this is going to be brown eventually, so I'm just going to cut all of this back at the base as well. It also really doesn't look very pretty anymore either. All right, well, it looks pretty good, you guys. I think we got this cleaned up really well. And you can see those coral berries. I am going to wait a little while longer to clip those back, though, because I just want to. We'll see. We might get some freebies from some of the berries that are still on the bush. I've gotten one last year because it dropped its seed and it grew a new plant. So that was pretty cool. Now over here in this garden bed, there's a couple of things that I want to clean up. I want to get way back in the back. There's some peonies that are back there that I didn't get to at the end of the season. And then this particular autumn joy sedum right here has been really damaged. I don't know exactly why, but I'm going to clip that up because it really doesn't look like much of anything. It just kind of looks like a mass of cracked stems. So that's not good. All right, I'm just going to start in the back here and we will work our way forward. There's also some irises in here that has some foliage that needs to be cleaned up as well. So we'll get that while we're back here. It might look silly, but I'm actually going to leave those couple of seed heads that look pretty to me out here for the rest of the winter. Well, I think that looks a lot neater and tidier and cleaner. And that's what I was going for today. Things that I could take care of. So we've got a few more things to do in the front garden. Let's go. Real quick before we run to the front yard, I almost forgot. We got to clip back this asparagus. Ta-da! I've got some echinacea in here that are really tall, and definitely almost all of the seeds are gone on them, so we're going to go ahead and get them cut back as well just to clean this up a bit. Well, since I'm in the area, I think I'd like to take advantage of this time to actually clean up this elderberry. This is a black lace elderberry, and it's doing pretty well here, but it's taking its time to actually get some height on it because it gets shade because it's right up against this fence for most of the day. So what I want to do is trim it back a little bit because it's coming out to the sides quite a bit, and I just want to hope that the way that I trim it will allow it to gain a little bit more upward growth and then branch it out. So right now I'm looking also for like some crossing branches and that kind of thing. Ones that are growing forward into this urn. Because if I can get them to grow up instead of into the urn, that would be fantastic. Let's see. These leaves don't look good on it at all. They look so gross when they're all dead and wilty like this. Now these do bloom on old growth, so I don't want to take too much off either. Better to leave some and then come back and prune it again later. All right, let me look at how far it's poking out on either side of the urn. So I think I just need to do a little bit more pruning on this side. I'm going to clip this one back in the hopes that it sends a branch up. Got a lot of branches that are just like growing horizontally and into each other down here. There's a dead branch. All right, well, I think that about does it for now. We'll see how it does with that little bit of a trim. I think it's gonna look pretty good this spring. All right, let's go get some more stuff trimmed up. All right, so these are helenium, and we're just gonna take these back right to the ground. And then we have a couple of mums over here too that we're gonna take right back to the ground. And in this bed, we also have some irises, so we'll get rid of these. And then I think my fingers are about ready to go completely numb. So this will be it for today, I think. Let me just look at this side garden bed and see if there's anything else that I want to get done today. And then I think my husband's gonna buy me a cappuccino from our local coffee store. All right, the final tidy up is gonna be me putting back these rocks that I don't know how come they fell over, but I could guess that the wildlife had something to do with it. We're seeing walnuts all over the place right now, where squirrels have just decided to put walnuts in trees and branches of bushes and that kind of thing. So, well, those are the final touches today. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was nice to get outside, even though it's cold out, and it definitely makes my spirits happy to get out in the garden anytime I can. Thanks so much for watching today, and we'll see you in the next time. Bye.